position rundown for you. The top 5 are Norris, Russell, Iwasa, Leclerc and Piastri. The fastest lap at this point in time is a 1:27.9. We don't currently have the data for that request. You're leading the pack, that's P1. And we're in front of Norris, Russell and Iwasa. Currently the fastest lap is a 1:27.9. Sorry, we can't provide you with that information right now.
And with qualifying complete, let's review our top 3 today. Norris, Daniel and Ayumu Iwasa. Goodbye for now then, but really we're just getting started. Make sure to join us again for Lights Out tomorrow. No fewer than 12 world champions have been crowned at Suzuka, but who will be tasting glory today at the checkered flag? We're approaching Lights Out, and we can't wait for the Japanese Grand Prix. 18 corners make up a lap of the incredible figure-of-8 Suzuka circuit, with 10 to the right and 8 to the left, for a distance of 3.6 miles. Average lap speeds around here are fairly quick. If it stays dry, then expect somewhere in the region of 136 miles per hour. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Lando Norris will lead us away from pole position, and Daniel completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Iwasa, Russell, Leclerc, Albon, Tsunoda, Oscar Piastri, Théo Pourchaire, Doohan, Hauger, Gasly, Liam Lawson, Joe, Ricciardo, Sargent, Drugovich, Ocon, Magnussen, and Lance Stroll brings the grid to a close. Now it's almost time for Lights Out, so let's go down to the track. I'm joined again today by none other than Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, obviously there's a lot of development work that goes on with these cars between the Grand Prix. You've been both a test driver and a race driver. What differences are there in the way that you approach those roles?
Yeah, it's an interesting question. They're two very different mindsets. In the old days, of course, they used to cover up to 15,000 kilometres of testing in a season, and that role would be more about working for the team, trying to help them improve the car and drive as systematically as possible.
The formation lap gets underway then, and it's going to be interesting today to see how the dry conditions can affect the lifespan of the tyres. As the cars come back towards the grid to line up for the start of the race, each driver will be wanting to get the best start they possibly can. And they'll be hoping to finish today's race on the podium, failing that, within the points.
Sebastian was just 6 seconds into a test drive.
Battery charge is high, let's use that overtake button a bit more. Okay, DRS will be enabled this lap. You can use it when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone. box this lap and push hard on the in-lap. This lap then, come into the pits at the end of this lap. Alexander's coming in for his stop now. Confirmed, we'll receive you at the end of this lap. Okay, be aware, the grip levels are going to start falling away soon. look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. Overtake and burn off some of this energy. Okay, that's us with 5 laps of fuel remaining, 5 laps of fuel left. Great work, that's a new fastest lap of the race. Final lap, push, push. That's a race win and your second race win in a row. Fantastic job.
They've done it then, here at Suzuka. A brilliant win on the beloved figure-of-8 circuit. Well, Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today, but what set them apart from the rest?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
Red Bull put up an outstanding fight for the front position today, and it's great to see it paid off for them. They do so much for the sports that you can't help but be delighted by today's race win. Let's have a look then at the driver's standings. Daniel increases their championship lead. Let's focus on the driver of the day, Anthony Davidson. Who do you pick?
I have to give it to Daniel.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. And Red Bull take over as championship leaders. Another team that will be satisfied with this Grand Prix is Alfa Romeo, whose good result moves them further up the championship. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action, and I can't wait to see what's next.
30 seconds left in the session. Fantastic, you've got pole position.
With qualifying finished, it's time to remind ourselves once again of our top three: Daniel, Russell and Lando Norris. Welcome to today's sprint. This is shaping up to be another fantastic weekend. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's sprint. Daniel lines up on pole position, and starting next to them is George Russell. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Oscar Piastri, Tsunoda, Leclerc, Albon, Ricciardo, Hauger, Iwasa, Doohan, Liam Lawson, Drugovich, Gasly, Ocon, Teo Pourchaire, Sargent, Joe, Magnussen, and Lance Stroll brings the grid to a close. Which of these drivers will get pole position today? We'll soon find out. Anthony Davidson, a very warm welcome to you as you join me in the commentary box for today's event. The last few races have been a bit rough for them, unable to get a clean run. That's got to have some effect on their confidence, surely.
Certainly confidence is an important factor. And every time you're involved in an incident, it's not just the car you damage, but that confidence as well. But all the top racing drivers were able to tune that out when the race gets underway and focus on the job at hand.
Here we go then, the formation lap is underway ahead of today's sprint. We're almost ready to start the sprint as the cars take their positions on the grid, with the drivers and teams making their final preparations.
Okay, I've got a brand new race strategy on your MFD if you want to go and check it out. VSC deployed. The virtual safety car has been deployed.
So let's see what effect this result has had on the drivers' standings. Despite the best efforts of our championship leader, that lead has taken a bit of a knock today. The grid is set then, so that just leaves the race itself. Join us tomorrow where we'll be live with all the action. And until then, goodbye. We're under the lights once again here in Qatar. Last year we took a year off due to a small footballing tournament that was being hosted, but it's all excitement on the track now. We're back here in Lusail for a track that's 3.34 miles long. There are 16 turns around its unique three-prong shape and just a single DRS zone out of turn 16. It's fast and it's flowing, and there's a good overtaking opportunity with DRS down the long straight and into turn 1. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Lando Norris will lead us away from pole position, and Yuki Tsunoda completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Albon, Oscar Piastri, Leclerc, Ricciardo, Iwasa, Doohan, Hauger, Théo Pourchaire, Ocon, Russell, Gasly, Drugovich, Liam Lawson, Sargent, Joe, Stroll, Magnussen and Daniel. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track. And alongside me once again for coverage of today's race is none other than the great Anthony Davidson. Let's talk about Daniel. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
It's been a really solid year so far. There have been some incredible standout performances, but what's really impressed me has been the consistency. With this kind of form, I'm expecting another great race today.
The formation lap gets underway and every driver will be looking to settle in for the race ahead, making sure that their car is ready for the battle once the lights go out. So as all the cars reform the grid, the drivers will be hoping to get a strong start. They'll want to earn some valuable points from today's race, with final communications being done with their race engineers, ensuring the planned strategies are all in place.
Okay, mate, that was an illegal manoeuvre. You've got to cede that position or we'll receive a penalty. Okay, the start was fine. Let's try and move forward. DRS is being enabled this lap. You can use DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone. Good job, that was the fastest lap of the race so far. Okay, we've got a full course. Are you okay? That was a big one. Confirm you're okay, please.
Katar's first appearance on the F1 came in 2020.
Well, what a drive that was to take the win for Ferrari today. And talk to me. What do you think it was that sealed the win for them?
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. They were able to keep their heads when everyone around them was losing theirs, and that's allowed them to get the best out of the car, to maximise the strategy, and to stay out of trouble.
And here we are, a team that is no stranger to the podium, taking their place on top once again. A sublime race today, and a stunning win for Ferrari. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. Our championship leader is still sat at the top of the standings, but their rivals have made up some solid ground today. Now, let's discuss, Ant. Who would you say is a contender for Driver of the Day?
Well, my driver of the day has to be Charles Leclerc. He was unstoppable out on the track today, weaving through the competition with ease.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. The lead at the top comes down after a strong weekend from the challenging pack. Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
Thanks for dealing with that. The departments appreciate it.